Y'all, I cannot make this shit up. These two men literally were trying to set me up. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well and I hope you guys are happy. If you are new to this channel, I do hope that this video encourages you to subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell. Also give this video a really big thumbs up as you come in. We're about to get into some really juicy news. Let's go ahead and hop into this story time, y'all. So I do want to go ahead and get straight into the story time. I do want to give you guys a few disclaimers. The events of this story are definitely true. However, the names have been changed. So let's get into the tea. Okay. All right, guys. So I remember getting off work one day and stopping to get some gas because y'all know you don't want to go get no gas early in the morning. So I had to go to work the next day. I stopped, I got some gas, and while I was at the gas station, this guy, he hollered at me. I already knew he was coming to holler at me, so I'm checking out his demeanor as he's walking up. I'm also looking at the car that he's walking up from, like, okay, I'm driving luxury, are you? Very simple mindset back in the day, but you know, you grow with age, okay? So he was coming, he was walking up. He was about maybe 6'5". He was very dark, like as black as this dress, y'all. He was 6'5", really dark, very beautiful teeth, just a very handsome man in general. So when he came up, he wasn't on no bullshit. It was, hey, how you doing? You look beautiful. How was your day at work? You know, all the good gestures. And he said straight up, like, I think you're a very beautiful woman. I would love to get to know you, take you out on a date, something. And I was like, okay, that sounds fine. And I gave him my number. So later on that evening, because it was already about 3:30, I think I got off at 3:30. So it was already around maybe 4 o'clock. So around 7 o'clock, he had hit me up and he let me know, like, you were looking really good at the gas station. This is Malik. And I was like, hey Malik, hey Malik, what's up? How are you doing? Just like having a good conversation. So I'm asking him the regular questions I ask any man. How old are you? What do you do for a living? Do you have any children? Ever been married? Have any STDs? You know, all the good questions. No, I didn't ask the STD part, but you need to add, you need to also go to the clinic together and make sure you're all good. So we were just getting to know each other. The text thread lasted probably to about 10 o'clock when I fell asleep, and the next morning he started with that good morning beautiful crap. So so we were texting. We actually finished off the week texting. I didn't have an iPhone at the time. I was like so against iPhone. I was like team Android for such a long time, so I'm finally team iPhone, right? But back in the day when this story happened, I didn't have an iPhone. So he was like, we should FaceTime, and I was like, I don't have an iPhone, and blah blah, if you want to see me, you have to take me out. Essentially, that is what I was thinking, but I definitely didn't say it. I like to see how men think of me, and one of the ways you can tell how a man thinks of you is how they treat you, how they date you, how they talk to you, what they do for you, the things they do around just the environment of you. You know what I mean? So I think it wasn't the next day, but it was the day after. He did invite me to go out to a date. We went to a very expensive steakhouse. It was in downtown Dallas. We had a good time on the day. I got to dress up, so you know, that's always fun for any girl. And he looked really handsome. He stated that he was in real estate, and he also stated that he owned a few homes and flipped a few homes around the area. It was a few things that he just dibbled and dabbled into. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm a operations manager and this is what I do, you know, blah blah blah. So the conversation was going good, everything was going cool, but there was, believe it or not, like little chemistry. And I'm not saying like sexual chemistry, I'm just saying like there's a certain vibe you get off someone you like, and the vibe was just, it wasn't there for me. So I did continue texting, responding, should I say, back to his text messages, and we did go on a few more dates after that. Dates were cool, nothing to write home about. Dates were fine. I remember one day, y'all, I was at work and one of the supervisors said, hey, I can't remember what comedian was going to be in town, but they were going to be at the Improv, and was like, hey, do you want to come? I'm like, oh, mind you, it was a male supervisor, so it's like, oh, he's like, the other supervisors are coming, and I already had an incline that this guy liked me, but you know, the work with pleasure, we don't do that around here. I've never been that kind of girl. I don't think that's like a cute environment. I understand some people, but that's just never been me, right? So we gonna skip all of that. So he said, look, there's other supervisors that are gonna be coming. I think you should go. We all gonna have a good time, get to chill and chat. We never got to, you know, really hang out with you outside of work, because I always treated work as work because y'all don't need to know my business. You know what I mean? Like, I just never have been extremely friendly, especially with me being in managerial positions. Like, you don't want to fraternize and jeopardize your income. So I've always been like a stickler on like keeping work at work. So I don't know what it was, but I was like, you know what? I've never actually been to that Improv. I've never seen that comedian. I really want to go. So I said, okay, I'll go. Let me know how much I need to put in. He was like, oh no, I'll get the tickets for me and you. So-and-so's going. I'm like, okay. Mind you, I don't have any of these people's numbers. They didn't work for my team, so I don't have any of their numbers outside of work. He was like, hey, we should exchange numbers. I was like, oh, I'll just meet you up there and we can chat on Messenger. Like, I honestly just said that because I didn't want this boy calling me or thinking you don't have any chance with me, because it was a no. Straight up no. Okay, so I remember I got up there and I met the guy. He was in the parking lot. I had messaged him and I said, hey, I'm in the parking lot, I just pulled up, do I go up to the door for my tickets? He was like, hey, no, I'm here too, just walk up to the door with me, we'll walk in together. And so as we walked up there, I'm asking, where are the other supervisors at? I didn't see nobody, y'all. Where are the other supervisors? So he was like, I don't know, they said they're gonna be here. He looking at his phone like, oh no, they said they was gonna be here. Okay, regardless, while we were standing in line actually waiting to get into seating for the Improv, we were inside the building, we just had to wait for seating. I remember Malik texting me and he's saying, hey, what are you up to? I would like to see you. And I was like, late notice, Malik, but I'm a little busy today and tomorrow. Let's see if we can get together next weekend. I'll let you know when I'm free. And he was just like, wow, really busy? And I remember that, and it's like, yeah, I'm busy. Like, I don't know. The way that I dated was a no tolerance, and I'm glad that I did date that way. However, it allows you, when you go in not being like stupid, sprung off of looks or off of just having a man in general, it allows you to assess every situation. So when he sent me that text, it was a weird red flagish to me. He's like, busy? Yeah. I have a whole life, honey. I'm busy. So I never responded back to that because it was my choice and I didn't. So long story short, we go into the Improv. I'm having a good time. I'm ordering food. I'm having drinks. I'm honestly just having a really, really good laugh. The comedian was Afion Crockett. It was hilarious. His whole team that he had with him was hilarious. And I just had a really, really good time. As I looked down at my phone, because I'm not a person that keeps their phone like at eyes linked, like I like to just decompress from a lot, y'all. So as I look down to my phone, I see that Malik had texted me again. He sent me 2 images and he also sent a like, busy, that's what he said, like busy, wow, or busy, So guys, I'm like, what's the images? Like, I was ready to click them. So I clicked the images and lo and behold, the most finest woman in the world was staring right back at me. Y'all, this man took a photo of me and the supervisor that I was with and sent it to me and was like, busy, huh? Okay, so yeah, really, really weird. So I'm like, oh, are you here? You should have spoken. That was what I sent. And he was just like, no, I'm not there. I got eyes everywhere. And red flag, it's a no. It is like a no-go once you do some shit like that. We have no ties to each other. We don't know each other. We have been on maybe 3 dates at this time. I owe you nothing, you owe me nothing. We are dating and getting to know each other. And this lets me know, like, it felt really, really weird, should I say, for him to do that. I remember looking at the photo and I remember saying the person that took this picture of me was standing right behind me, because they caught the person who was a person behind me. And I remember, I will never forget what this Louis Vuitton bag looked like. They caught the whole bag. If I can find the pictures in my archive, I'll put it like right here. I'll put it right here. But the Louis Vuitton bag, it had her initials like all over it, and it was just like so unique. It was a really beautiful bag. And I remember me standing right here, and it was like a piece of the guy that was with me. So whoever was taking the picture was right above my shoulder, right behind me. That creeped me the fuck out. Like, that was some weird stalker, I know what you did last summer type shit. I was just like, what? Why would you send me a picture of me at the Improv? And not to mention, I didn't say I was busy. I think I said I'm actually at an improv. So that was really, really weird, because it isn't like I lied to you about anything. And essentially, I am busy. I'm sorry, you may try to make plans with me a little too late, okay? So I remember saying, I'm not gonna allow this to mess up like my night. I'm gonna have a good time. So I finished eating my food, drinking my drinks. I finished laughing. And when the improv was over, I remember the supervisor saying, I don't know where they are. And I was like, because you know they weren't coming. I remember saying that exactly. Like, don't try to play with me. What? Don't try to play with me. You know they weren't coming. That's the end of the story time on that, okay? But that was some really weird shit. I remember getting in the car and I had not one, not two, not three, but 4 missed calls from Malik. What you doing, bro? Like, I had 4 missed calls from him, and I just knew it was red flag central, because when you know that I'm already out with someone else, you already know where I am. You clearly seen a picture of me. Why are you calling me to interrupt what I have going on? I thought that was extremely rude. I thought it was like extremely privileged. Like, you don't have that type of privilege to me. Like, obviously I'm a single woman. No one has that kind of privilege to me. So I thought that was a little rude, we ain't doing that. So I remember telling myself, I'm not gonna call him. I'll wait till I get back to my apartment and I'll call him then. So I had got back to my apartment. I took a shower. I started watching Fatal Attraction, y'all, and I forgot to call him. And he like called me. It was like 11:30, and he called me and I answered. And he was just having a conversation. He wanted to talk about the pictures that he's seen. And I was like, I'll let you know I was going out with my coworker to an improv, didn't I? He's like, yeah, it looks like you was there with, you know? And I'm like, I was like, are we together? Do you assume we're together? I just wanted to see where his mind was, because it was a lot of possession going on, and baby, I don't know you. So I'm like, do you assume that we're together or something? And he was like, no, we're getting to know each other, we're dating each other. And I said, thank you for the clarity, because that's what I assumed as well. And I had to pretty much coach him and let him know, like, sweetie, you don't talk to me like that. I don't tolerate no one questioning me. I told you, I even gave you the grace to tell you, hey, I can't hang out this weekend. I'm kind of already going somewhere with someone else. I'll catch you another weekend. And he was just like, I'm telling my friends and my boys about you, and they excited to see me with a good woman and someone who equals me and blah blah. He was just saying all of this, I guess, trying to make me feel guilty. But when you stand in who you are, like, I can't feel guilty for living my life, honey. I'm out at improv. So long story short, I had to cut it loose. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Now we're gonna fast forward a year. I don't want to scare you, but this is all gonna come back together. So just pay attention, watch to the end, you guys, and don't forget to subscribe, okay? give this video a big like, okay? Because we're about to get juicy. This is the juicy part. Ding, 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 juicy part. Okay. So we're gonna fast forward to maybe 9 months to a year. I can't remember. I'm still single, still rocking it at work, still killing it, just doing a great job, right? And I remember going to that exact same gas station, okay? And I remember another man. Now this is 9 months to a year later. 9 months to a year later, I have been on maybe a few other dates since that date, right? And this guy, he was about 6'3", 6'4". He was very, very tall as well. He was about 6'3", 6'4", and he was brown skinned, had curly short hair. This guy, he looked like he could have been mixed with something, but I believe that he was African American. He was straight up black, right? So I just remember him coming up and him getting out of a black BMW. It looked very similar to the black BMW that Malik had, right? So I don't know why, I just remembered that. And I said something. So I was like, oh, is that your car? He was like, yeah, it's mine. You like it? It's nice, right? Like, I was just like, oh, okay, maybe I'm tripping. It's a lot of black BMWs, you know, but this one looked very, very similar. So he came up, he hollered pretty much in the like a very similar sense that Malik hollered in, and he was like, hey, my name's Derek, and so he hollered. He was very attractive. I thought he was really, really cute, and I gave him my number. I think that happened like on a Monday, because I believe that I was off of work, because it was a gas station that was on my way home. So that's why I always stopped at that gas station, or I stopped at that gas station kind of often, not always, because it was on my way home. So I think that was on a Monday when he tried to talk to me. I gave him my number, and then I want to say it was Wednesday that he had hit me up, and he was like, oh, I would love to, you know, take you out, do something, blah, blah, blah. And he asked me to go out Friday, and I was like, oh, I don't have time on Friday, I'll be busy, like, let's do something Saturday. That's what I suggested. And he was like, Friday ain't gonna work, like, what you got going? And now that could be like a cute little joke, but I really don't know, I didn't like that. It was a red flag for me, okay? And I was like, I don't like that. You all up in my business. I don't like that at all. So I was just like, I'm busy, so if you want to see me, you can see me Saturday, or we can wait till next weekend. And I remember just shutting it down really quick, like, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that in this life, okay? So we were texting, getting to know each other. He was very, very boring. I am not a texter. I let anyone who comes in my life know, like, I am not big on texting, but if you want to call me anytime, we can chit chat. That's how I feel like it's more genuine when you pick up the phone. You can actually hear the person's expressions versus a LOL or an exclamation mark or a meme or a GIF or whatever they was using back then. So I've never been the type of person that likes texting. I'd rather talk. So I just remember him picking up the phone to call me, and he was like, I can't wait to see you. This was on Friday, and he was like, are you busy? Can you talk? I was like, no, I'm just sitting in my office going over some paperwork. And he was just like, can I call? And I was like, sure. So he called. He was like, I really can't wait to see you Saturday. And I was like, that's what's up. I'm interested in seeing you, and where are we gonna go? And he was just like, I don't know, wherever you want to go. And I was just like, you tell me. Let me know where you want to take me. You don't have to tell me right now while we're talking. You can text me later. Just let me know where you want to take me. And he was like, okay, cool, I got you, right? So we hung up the phone, and then he sent a text message, and the text message said, dang, I wish I could see you tonight instead of tomorrow. Just annoying. And I was just like, I'm not even gonna respond back to this text message. I'll respond back to him tomorrow. Like, it really irritated me to the point we just had a really great conversation, and then you're like, dang, but I want to see you Friday instead of Saturday. What is so important about Friday? Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I've already let you know my boundaries. Now you're crossing them, so you're on punishment. I'm gonna not talk to you until tomorrow. And that's exactly what I did. He was just like, hey, is Applebee's good? That's the place that he picked for us to go, mind you. And I'm not being bougie. I love Applebee's, but that's the place that he picked for us to go. So honestly, I didn't do anything Friday. I just remember having like a small panic attack a little bit, and I was like, just trying to find something for Saturday so I could just be ready to go. I can get up in the morning, handle my business, and then that evening we would go on our date to Applebee's, right? So I started having like a very, very small panic attack. And something was saying like, I don't think you should go to this Applebee's. Like, he's attractive, but besides his attraction, I really don't feel anything, like no chemistry, nothing there, nothing at all, right? So I'm just like, damn, do I want to go? He had texted me twice and I didn't respond, because once I tell you something and you hit that like irritation spot, it's like, ugh, I'm kind of done. And I've grown a lot from that mentality. Mind you, I'm married now, so you definitely can't be done, you know? But it's when I was dating, y'all, my husband, okay, was already up here because my stuff was up there, okay? So when I was dating, I just could not tolerate like fuck shit. I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't do it because I felt like I was a self-sufficient boss. I felt like I was all that in a bag of chips, especially in my 20s, y'all. So when I was dating, I dated what I wanted. I had nothing less. Let's just say that. So the next day comes and I'm talking to my friend. I'm like, this guy seems a little weird. I'm like, this guy just doesn't seem like really my type, but I'm gonna still go. I'm gonna still get cute, and I'm gonna go and eat and see what's up with him, just see how our chemistry is face to face, because like text messages are not where it's at. But long story short, we ended up, I ended up meeting him at Applebee's. And I ended up walking in. He was like, oh my God, you look so beautiful. He looked nice. I remember the exact booth we sat in, y'all. And we just sat down, started having conversation. I realized like I had to ask most of the just questions, inquiring about him and his life and all that. He wasn't really telling. So it was just like nothing was there like I exactly thought. But when I was at the table, something, like I told you, I was feeling like anxiety, like panicking, right? And that was on me all the way until I got to the restaurant. But once I got to the table, it was like, you got this. Like something came over me and was like, stay calm. And that's exactly what I heard, like stay calm, right? So I'm asking him, what do you do for a living? He literally did the same. He literally said the same thing that Malik said. It felt like I was on like just a spin of the same date, honestly. So he asked me, why are you single? I gave him the spiel on why I think I'm single and, you know, all the good stuff. And I, at this point, had said, they know each other. I don't know what made me say that, but in my head I said they know each other. And I believe that's why the spirit of like stay calm came like abruptly over me, because it was like, you're gonna figure it out, just relax and listen, right? So I'm listening to him tell me what he does for a living. I mean, the same spiel that Malik gave me 9 to 12 months earlier was the same spiel that this guy gave me, right? So I remember sitting at the date and he asked me, so tell me why you're single. I tell him why I'm single. I asked him, you tell me why you're single. And you know, when's the last time you've been in a relationship? And he was telling me about his ex-girlfriend and telling me how much he loved her and she cheated and he spent this kind of money on her. He bought her a house and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I even went to Paris, y'all. Okay, I even went to Paris and I had this bag designed for her, and she had this whole designer bag, only her in the world got it. I think he said, let me show you what this bag looked like, right? So I just remember him taking his phone and putting it in my face like this. And he was like, this, and I was like, I mean, the moment I seen the picture, the moment I seen that bag, all I thought was improv, supervisor, no one showed up, Malik texting, picture, the bag. That's the bag. That's the bag. So I was like, oh, it was a split second. So he was like, this is what it looks like. And I was like, oh, this is such a cute bag. And I just remember everything from that night. So this was the guy, Derek, the guy that I'm on a date with, was the guy who took a picture of me for Malik, the guy that I previously dated 9 months ago. So, although that spirit of calmness came on me, it was like a spirit of fear now. What does these people want from me? Like, what the fuck is going on? That was my first thought. So I was like, that's a really cute bag. And so now I'm looking around like, okay, this is my exit. You know, my gun is in the car. Just get to the car, get there safely. And I'm just like, okay, how are we gonna play this? So all I remember is him saying like, I just remember him talking. I can't remember exactly specifically what he said, but I remember him talking. And as he was talking, I remember getting a text message. And long and behold, guess who the text message was from? You guessed it, Malik. Malik texted me and he said, hey stranger, what you up to? Y'all, I cannot make this shit up. These two men literally were trying to set me the fuck up. So I text back graciously and I said, you know what I'm doing. I'm having dinner with your friend. And then so I set my phone down, face down, and then I just watched him. I like did one of those movie things. I was like, and I just sat back and was like, so he was just like, you good? I said, I'm great. And I just like looked at him and smiled. And then all I hear was his phone, ding, 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 ding. And although I'm not an iPhone user at the time, I already know what iPhones do. And I was like, oh, that's saying that the gig is up. That's who that is. That's what I'm saying in my head. So I haven't unfolded my hand at any time. So I remember our waitress coming and she was saying, did you need anything else? And I was like, no, can I just have this to go? And he was like, I wanted to go too, or whatnot. Mind you, it's the middle of the date. And he was just like, I get my stuff to go quick and da-da-da. And I was like, I was just sitting there looking at this point, I hadn't said anything to him. She came back literally within the minute. And she was like, oh, here you go. Was there anything else? And as she's giving it to me, I'm putting my stuff in here. And I was like, no, that's great. Thank you so much. And so, I just remember him saying, are you good? And I was like, I'm great, sweetie. Are you good? And he was just like, yeah. And I just, ding, ding. He hadn't checked the message yet. And he was just like, who the fuck is this texting me? He was like, hey, who keep texting me? Like somebody even died or something. And I was like, it's Malik. And he was like, what? And I was like, it's your friend. And he was like, what? Like and as he's saying this, I'm grabbing my food because I wanted to finish my food, and I'm grabbing my purse and I'm leaving. I already had took my keys out. I don't know if I made that dramatic enough. I had set my keys on the counter. So I'm grabbing my food and I'm grabbing my purse, and I just got up and I walked out. And he was like, I didn't even know you knew him, as I'm like getting all my stuff together. I didn't even know you knew him type shit. So guys, I could not have made it to my car faster, and there was actually a police officer that was parked next to me, and I was like, you know, this is all God. You know, I'm just so happy that I'm not sleep to the shit that I look, I'm just so happy I recognized game immediately and I got the fuck up out of there. Now, the question is, what were they going to do to me? I have told this story to several of my friends, and when I was in my 20s, telling the story was a bit different than in my 30s telling the story. Now, I brought that story up to a friend and she was like, girl, there are men out here that tag team rape women. And that, like, once she said that, it was like, I have to make a video about this and let you guys know, like, there are some real ass creeps in this world and you guys have to be careful. Do not lead with the power of the P, okay? Lead with your mind. Go with what your gut feels. That woman's intuition, it never lies. You have to have discernment over situations, or you might end up in a situation, okay? A situation that you don't want to be in. I have no idea what those men were going to do to me, Malik and Derek, but I do know that they knew each other and they were setting me up for something. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a, hey, I didn't get to smash, see if you can smash type session. But y'all, when I tell you I was so scared, I did not go straight home. I like drove around the whole city that night, and I remember then driving to my apartment because you don't know if someone's following you. You don't know what type of car this other person is in because they literally were driving the exact same car. I don't know whose car was it, but they were driving the exact same car. And it's so funny because he thought he was like playing me when he sent me that text, but everything had came together. My discernment had already said, these two men know each other. When I sat down and I was like, damn, I'm asking him a lot of the same questions and he's literally giving me the exact responses. I mean, to the T. I was just like, there's something creepy going on here. But what I can say is, no, I didn't do anything to deserve some weirdo creep shit like that, okay? What I'm going to tell you, ladies, is to definitely be safe. Be safe out here when you're dating. Do not invite people to your home. Do not tell them what, make sure that you remember. So one thing from then on, every man, I don't care if it was a one-time date, I have written down all of their license plate number, because you really don't know. I mean, there's so many different cars and there's so many of the same cars. So writing down the license plate number will always make sure you stay up to date on what the hell is going on. But there are so many different precautions that you need to take when you're in this dating scene and when you're on the dating scene and when you're in just this world in general, just to provide safety for yourself, especially as a Black woman. I was so scared, and I just looked around like, who would protect me in this moment? You know, like, I don't even, you know, the police was there and I honestly don't know if they would have helped, you know? So I'm so thankful for my discernment. I'm so thankful for being, you know, for being gun-ho on the things that I feel and the things that I believe. I don't walk away from them. I face them forward and I say, if something tells me to leave this person alone, no matter how fine a person is, because y'all, these men was fine, okay? No matter how attractive they are, if something in my gut says leave them alone, I leave them alone. But you guys, I hope you did enjoy this story time, and I hope that it taught you something. I hope that you ladies stay safe out there. You men stay safe as well, and never cross anyone's boundaries. You guys, keep your eyes open, listen to your intuition and your discernment. And I hope that this video encouraged you to subscribe and hit that like button so your girl's page can get out there, okay? I put a lot of love and a lot of work into my content, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys are interested in more story times, let me know what you think about this one in the comments down below. And if you're interested in more, let me know in the comments, because I have a lot of story times for y'all, okay? I have a lot, okay? And also leave me a comment and tell me, what do you think was happening in that moment? Like, what do you think those men were going to do to me, honestly? Remember to be vigilant no matter where you are, especially if you are an African-American woman in this world, and think about gun safety and making sure you carry one, because it is important to be able to protect yourself. Well guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. Remember to stay safe, spread love, and always be kind. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye guys.